guys, it's Rose from the Philippines. Welcome to Gantsilyera. It's a show and tell of crochet and craft related items. So today is February 9, 2020. It's a Sunday. I took the privilege today to make a video to catch up with you guys. So thank you for visiting with me. Today this morning it is raining, and it has been raining for the past few days, sometimes in the afternoon. So I'm making a video before going to church today because I wasn't able to make a video yesterday. So I just want to show you guys the projects I've been undertaking. I have still been making the fourth set of order from rain, and the other day I was able to put together the wall art inspired from Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. So that's what I'm gonna show you today. So this is how it is. So it just have a little bumps on them, but later I'm going to iron it. I was able to fill in the gap in between the swirls and the bottom, and also in between this crescent moon and some parts of it. And the other day I was able to base sew the flowers, so they're not that intact. I'm going to sew it later just to make it sturdy. So the flower should be about 14 pieces, but Rain told me that it is a little bit taking up space, so I should put lesser than 14, which is 10. She suggested for that. But I was able to put here 11 sunflowers. I thought 14 has a significant thing for her, but she said no. So I was able to put 11 sunflowers, and able for her to see the mountains or the hills, because when I was putting 14 flowers, it is blocking the hillside. So now it only has 11. And the other day I was able to put the border for it, which looks like a framing, using some single crochet and drop stitches. So for this one, I really need to put a backing on it, or a lining. So I have cut this Gino cloth here that I'm going to sew later, and then afterwards sew by hand for the back side, because as you can see, it has so many ends. So I needed to do that later in order for this project to be finished. So I'm quite happy to show you this, guys. So Rain's third order is for a flower goddess. It has some type of shaping to the body, and this is how it looks like. So yesterday I was able to form the shape of the dress or the gown that is incorporated to the Amigurumi, which is this one. So this is some wiring that I bought from the hardware, which is a little bit thick, and inside I have put some stick so that it will stand out, and the base part has this circle wiring here. So this is my project yesterday, and this is the gown that the flower goddess has. So also the first one that I have made for that, because I am anticipating working on the face, because I needed to embroider the face, forming the features of Betty Boop. So I tried making some heads for it. So I was able to work on this one, which is a little bit wider. And then the other day, I also have made some like this one, which is an egg size type of shaping for a head. And yesterday, I was tweaking it and thinking that I can make it the features of Betty Boop. So I have this one as a try. And I think the mistake that I made for this is I used some mercerized cotton thread instead of a thinner type of thread, which is, I think I should have used some DMC thread or sewing thread for it, but I was rummaging my stash and I don't have black and red DMC thread or black and red sewing thread. So I think I needed to buy one. And Sophie saw this and she doesn't agree with it. It doesn't look anything like Betty Boop. So this is my first try, and that is the reason why I'm making several heads so that I can experiment with it and tweak it a bit. So I have three heads to work on for the flower goddess. And also, I have been making some petals for it since the head has some flowers or some petals on its head as some type of hair or feature. So I was working on some type of red heart-shaped petals. So I have several of them made in two sizes, one which is wider and one in this size. So I have made all of this out of one ball of red yarn so that I can use it for the head part of the flower goddess. So that's what that's my progress with the Amigurumi, the third order of rain. And I'm going to still work on it these next few days because she is suggesting for me to deliver it to her before her birthday on the 13th. So I'm kind of rushing it in a way. And also, I was able to make a starfish that she also requested that I put to the sea-themed wreath I've been working on. So I'm still to tweak that wreath so that I can make the features lined up pretty well or proportioned. So I was able to make one small starfish and a bigger one. Hi guys, you may have heard me say from my other podcast that I was ordering some yarn from China, but I had it canceled because the shipping is taking too long. So instead of buying from them, I try to buy something from a local seller that I used to buy from, which is JC Crochet Yarn. She has a Facebook page and also a Shopee account. If you are interested in buying yarn from her, she still has some available in Indophil and maybe some polycotton polycotton yarn. So I will put her link on the description box below. So instead of buying yarn from China, I bought some from her and she lives in Bataan. So I placed my order last Monday and it came here Tuesday. So I'm quite happy with it. So those are these cakes of gradient, she calls it gradient mallows yarn, which are polycotton. So these are the shades that I picked up. And she has some pairs of it wherein this other one is the reverse version of this. So the colors are the same but they are positioned in a different way. And she also has this center pull here, which is kind of neat because you can see it says start here. So you can have the option of making your projects from the inner part first, but for me, I usually go from the outer part of the yarn. So this is the first pair that I bought from her with these colors. The second one that I chose is this one. I really love the combination of yellow and green, and this has some white on it, which is kind of new to me. So that is the second pair that I bought. The third pair, which I'm contemplating about, because I'm choosing some shades that have neutral colors in them, but I really wanted to incorporate ones with yellows and reds, so I purchased this other one here, which has some yellows and pinks in them. So I don't know what to work on this still, but this is a some type of retail therapy purchase for me. because this past days I kind of losing my crochet mojo, so I really needed something to inspire me in some way. So this brightened up my day when I accepted it or received it from the mail. And the last one that I bought is the usual ones that she sells and the usual ones that I bought from her, which are this 225-gram balls or cakes. So this ones, it has names, like for this, it is called Mako. But for the pairs, it doesn't have a name on them, so I can name them myself. So those are my yarn purchases and I'm quite happy with them. To continue on, last Monday, someone has placed an order from my Shopee account for some tumbler holders, so I have been anticipating the pickup. I was waiting on it from several days, from Tuesday to Friday, but it just got here. The pickup guy got here yesterday afternoon, so that is another thing that has been worrying me these past days, but I'm quite glad that I have had it picked up. So as I was waiting for him, I really wanted something to mindlessly crochet, because for Rain's orders, I really needed to focus on it. So as I was waiting for the courier, I needed something to work on. And those are these tumbler holders. I have memorized the pattern for this, so I can work on it without any pattern. So I have used the yarn that I bought from China, which has some lurex on it. So this is how it turned out so far, and it only has a smaller or shorter type of strap. So I worked on this violet one the other day and I have finished it. And then yesterday I was able to work on this dark gray one here. So this is just a simple recipe for a tumbler holder for me. And these are using some camel stitches and some filet crochet. So for this one, I wanted to make a tutorial for. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to put up anything, but I have been planning for it. I just don't have the necessary time to work on it yet. But I have been working on it, and I am going to collect them and then put on my shop as some type of varied type product. And yesterday also I was able to start another one using the yellow yarn. So one whole ball can make one of this. For this one, it took the whole ball, but for this one, it has some leftovers in them that I can maybe turn into a coaster. So those are the side projects that I want to show you guys. So guys, those are most of it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to visit with me. And later, I'm gonna catch up with you guys now that my worrying has stopped. We are still monitoring the outbreak of the novel coronavirus here in the Philippines. There are some cases that has been brought out. And also the eruption of the volcano has subsided. So that's good news. So I think those are most of it. I'm hoping you guys have a nice day working on your project and having some family bonding time of some sort, as I always say. So if you have questions for me, please put them on the comment box below. Sometimes the comments disables, so I try my best to enable it after putting up a video. So that's it from me. Bye for now.